Hello, hello. So today we are going to learn how to find the RMSE, so the root mean square error, using Excel. And remember, the RMSE gives you a rough idea about how well your model fits your raw data. Okay, the formal definition is it's the standard deviation of the residuals. Residuals are the difference between the forecasted values and the actual values. Okay, you'll notice that I only am going up on my X values until 180, and that is because from 1990s I found another equation. So right now I'm only interested up to this value. Okay, so these are my X values and this is my raw data. These are my Y values. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the Y values that would be generated by my equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter the model 1.007920, and then instead of pressing 0, I'm just going to press this cell. Okay, and so if I drag this down, remember the little black cross in the corner, you'll notice that what it has done now is it has now substituted each of the X values in, and it gave me my forecasted Y values. If your cell is not opened wide enough, it may get a little bit nervous sometimes and give you hashtags or something. Don't panic, just open the numbers up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to find the difference between those values, and we're going to find the difference between the forecasted, so what the model is saying it would be, and the actual raw data. All right, so the 0 here is because they are indeed the same. I'm going to drag this down, and now you see that some of them are positive here and some of them are negative. The reason for that is because if we take something, for example, like 30, you can see that the model actually over-predicted the population, right? So our function is above, so the difference between these is positive, as opposed to if we go down to 170, then we can see that now the model is below the actual value, and so that difference was negative. Okay, so whenever in statistics you have positives and negatives, very often what you'll do is you will take these differences and you will square them. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Perhaps you already know how to proceed. Take the value, square it, and now of course 0 squared is 0. Just square all of those values. Okay, and so now, now that we have our difference, we're almost finished. Now we are just going to average the difference out. Okay, in Excel doesn't like mean, Excel likes average. So let's just find the average of these. Boom, this is our value. Now remember, this was all squared. So what we need to do, last step, is we need to just square root that value, okay? And that's done by the equal sign, SQRT, square root. What do you want me to square root? Square root this. All right, so we get a value of 76.07. What does this mean? It means something, but not that much. It's kind of a rough, you could say it's the average fit. Or it's the average error of the model from the predicted value, but it doesn't tell you that much until you have another model to compare it to. So this is if you were trying to decide on a better model after perhaps you've applied some transformations or you've made a model using technology. The smaller this number, the closer this number is to 0, the better is your fit. So a model that would lie exactly on each of the raw values would yield an error of RMSE of 0. Okay. The other thing to keep in mind is just in relative to your values. If your values are in the thousands and this is 76, then it's probably a relatively good fit. But if these numbers are something like 45, 67, so they're actually fairly close to what the error is, this does mean that the error is bigger relative to your actual values. Okay, so just keep in mind, you know, as opposed to if your numbers here are in millions or something, then, you know, kind of a rough average error of 76 is not that big of a drama. Okay, so use this number to compare it to another another model, and then that's your justification of why it fits. Watch out for outliers. Maybe you do have an outlier of some sort due to some sort of events that took place in the country. You could recalculate it then without the outlier, but this is something that you would definitely have to justify and discuss. Okay, I hope that helps. Bye.